Good morning and welcome back to Rocky Mountain Gardens. My name is Mary, just in case you're brand new here at my channel. And I always focus here on home decor, craft projects, and of course, gardening in the Rocky Mountains. So, sharing with you today my plant haul recently that I have been collecting from various nurseries around our town. And I also am going to give you a quick look at my garden and how it's growing now that winter seems to really be over here in our area. Oh my gosh, guys, I have a pinyon jay that just flew over and landed on my porch. That's what I was looking at. I wish I could show him to you. Maybe I'll put a close-up right here for you to see what they look like. He is quite a large bird. In any case, guys, I just want to jump right into our gardening video. Well, here is the last bed that needs to be cleaned out today. But while I'm here, I wanted to show you this glorious crabapple tree. The variety is called Royal Raindrops, and the blooms are simply fantastic. Let's come in for a close-up of them. You can see that they're dark pink when the buds first open. Here's a bud, and then they fade into a lighter pink the longer they're on the tree. And the leaves first come out with a luscious green, but later they change to, here you can see a nice burgundy color. And so you have a burgundy colored tree once the leaves have fully grown and all of these beautiful blossoms fall to the ground. I really recommend this crabapple. It is free of pests. It is supposed to be resistant to fire blight, and it does not produce messy crab apples falling to the ground. They're very tiny, and actually the birds come and eat them all, which of course I love because it brings me more birds to my yard. I hope you have enjoyed seeing this gorgeous tree. Well, let's get started on this wonderful plant haul. I have been collecting plants this week since Mother's Day. I've gathered them in groups according to this group being shade, and then I have a group of sun-loving annuals and so on. And these are annuals here. If you've been around in my garden before, you probably know I have lots of shade. And I love to have containers in some of those areas. So what I have collected here are some beautiful coleus. You can see a couple of them there. And here's this sort of neon green that I simply adore. I have some asparagus fern because they grow well also in the shade and act as a filler in a pot. Right over here, I have a large fuchsia, really excited about that. And then here is a polka dot plant. Starting over here, I have a Virginia, which blooms in the early spring. And these are several packs of impatiens, more coleus. And over in this area, I have a grouping of begonias. Look at this wonderful orangey colored one with these dark leaves. That's quite different, don't you think? But I do love these angel wing begonias that bloom all summer also with a beautiful pink flower. So pretty. Now in this grouping, I have some shade perennials. This one is Irish moss. I have some ajuga here that has this pinkish color to it. Then vinca vine, which gets little blue flowers on it in the spring. I'm going to be planting the vinca right here underneath my Colorado blue spruce in my fairy garden area. And then I have an English ivy, just one that I bought to plant and hopefully train up the dead tree that is in my fairy garden area. Next, this is a grouping of sun-loving perennials. I have two lupins here. One is purple and one has pink flowers. I'm hoping it will do well. I bought a large monarda, which is also known as bee balm, to add to that part of my garden where I have some bee balm growing. And then I bought two Shasta daisies that are supposed to grow about 20 inches or so tall, because I do have some shorter Shasta daisies, but I wanted some taller ones. So those will go back in my garden near my raised vegetable bed. As you can see, the sun is out in our area right now, but we are expecting showers starting later this afternoon and perhaps all night, which is why I'm not going to be planting these until a couple of days from now, when hopefully we won't have some heavy and crushing thunderstorms. I bought quite a few of these Proven Winners petunias, which are called supertunias because you don't have to deadhead them. You might have heard that from me before. And they're going to be fantastic. I have yellows, a very dark, look at this one, dark purple mini petunia. And then I have some geraniums for my hanging pot back by my raised bed. Some of these pom-pom marigolds in the cream and the yellow. I bought a heavenly blue morning glory to grow on one of my trellises. This is a type of sedum that is supposed to survive zone 3 climates, and I'm hoping to see that come back after I plant it. So it actually is a perennial. I guess I have it in the wrong group. Sorry guys. And here is some blue salvia that is looking very healthy for the sun. That's another annual. More of these beautiful, simply gorgeous petunias. Another sedum there that is an annual here. More supertunias. In the back here I have some zinnias. I tried to plant some zinnia seeds, but last week we had 3 inches of rain in one day, and I believe it washed all of my seeds away. So I went ahead and bought some of these starts to add to my garden because I just love zinnias. And then here is some diamond frost euphorbia, which is a Proven Winners plant also, and it is a great filler in a pot and works well in the sunshine. Just have one dusty miller here and a phlox that it is a creeping phlox that blooms in the spring. I have a spot for that actually outside of my gate in my side yard out front. So guys, what do you think of all of these plants? I have quite a collection, don't you think? Between my shade collection and my sun collection, and then my perennials, I'm going to be very busy next week getting all of these planted. That's the pinyon jay that you hear calling that I mentioned. Guys, this is my hosta garden, and things are beginning to really grow, pop up above the earth. You can see a severe difference between these two hostas, which are more in the shade, and this side of the garden, which gets more sunlight. And I do have a new hosta I'm going to plant here because I had 2 of these curly fries hostas, and the one that was growing over here did not come back last year. So I'm going to be adding a new hosta It actually has kind of curly leaves and white edges, so I like that different look. Walking down my path here, we are going to come over and have a look at my basket of gold. Blooms early in the spring, so we have these cheerful yellow flowers. Lots of perennial geraniums that have spread quite a bit in this garden. This variety is called Johnson's Blue and does get blue flowers. And we'll walk on over here to see how things are doing. I do have out my hammock again. And guys, I'd like to share with you this patch of candy tuft with these cheerful white small blooms, another early spring bloomer. I'm hoping that my little bush, the Alberta spruce here, will survive its transplant. And of course my Joe Pye weed has just barely begun to start sprouting. Because we've had so much rain, I'm hopeful that my irises here will bloom, and if they do, I'll be sure to share them with you. I still haven't started my fountain, as you can see there. Probably will begin in the beginning of June. I'll turn on my fountain and get it going. I don't have all of my containers planted quite yet, but moving down here to my fairy garden, I have planted some of my containers here in this area. Look at these two gnomes that my grandsons painted for me for Mother's Day. Aren't they hilarious? Oh, they are the funniest little boys. This is my dwarf Korean lilac, which has been growing many buds. Oh my goodness, guys, I can't wait to share that with you when it's in full bloom. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick little tour, and I will be back soon with more garden tours and information for you that I like to share so that you too can be a successful gardener. Even if you're a beginner, I have to promise you it's just not that hard. Take care now and see you soon. Love from Rocky Mountain Gardens.